So I attempted to survive 100 days in a Minecraft zombie city, where the aim of the game was to get across a bridge. It's the only exit out of here, and we need to get across it. But not only are zombies the threat, there's also a team called the Umbrella Corp members. They're an admin team to make our game harder. They're the dead players from past islands. If you didn't watch the last video, don't worry, I'll bring you up to speed of how it ended. Myself and 2 others were trying to get this helicopter on this building up and running to save others and to get across the bridge. But then we got ambushed by the Umbrella Corp members. I was forced to kill a friend, and then I was held at gunpoint myself. And that's where I left the video, on a cliffhanger. And that mystery will be solved at the end, and you'll find out exactly what happened to me at the end of the video. But now time has moved on, and I'm gone. But the objective must continue. This isn't scripted. But now, some time has passed, and we're switching over to Jack's perspective. I will be narrating his story, and his attempt to get across the bridge. And Jack hadn't heard from me, Knight, or Zip, so he went to investigate. And now he's outside the helicopter settlement, expecting to hear a friendly voice back, maybe me, maybe Zip or Knight. But instead, he hears one of the Umbrella Corp members, and here begins a conversation.
Oh.
Jack,
Hello?
I'm not sure you should be here.
What are you doing? Where's Ryan?
Just, checking the building.
Where's Ryan? What did you do?
Instantly, Jack knew that something went horribly wrong. Umbrella Corp were here, and this was our last known location when we radioed it in. But then he heard Zipkick's voice. He was up in the tower with them, and they were threatening to kill Zipkick now as well. Jack, then hearing that both me and Knight were dead, he gave them 5 minutes to let Zipkick go. Otherwise, he will be coming in for revenge. And Jack was thinking on his feet, and there was a skyscraper across the road that towered over the helicopter settlement. That would be a fantastic sniping opportunity. Jack was now motivated by the biggest motivator of all, revenge. Jack knows he can't go straight into the building and fight, but this tower might give him the opportunity to fight from a distance. When Jack reached the top, the 5 minutes was over, and Zipkick was nowhere to be seen. It was time to engage. He got into position and pulled his sniper out. He had eyes on an enemy, but Jack could just see him through the crack in the window. It was too risky of a shot, and Jack was low on ammo. Every shot needs to count. So we readjusted and waited for a better opportunity. And a few minutes later, that opportunity came. 3 enemies were on top of the tower, exposed. He waited for the first player to stand still, and he took his shot. Jack takes out a second one. By now they have to know whoever's sniping has a vantage point above them, and being on top of the tower is not safe. But a while passed, and there was no sign. No activity. The building was quiet. Jack parachuted across to another building, trying to get a better angle. But here, he could still see no one. The Umbrella Corp members must have left the building and went out the back, using the buildings as cover for their escape. But still, Zipkick was nowhere to be seen, and Jack couldn't simply get in contact with him, as his radio was gone. Discord communication was not allowed. But I'm sure if Zipkick escaped, he'll surely be back at the ship by now. Or for once, the hunters become the hunted, and Jack is after one Umbrella Corp in particular, the Commander. If he takes the Commander out, the Umbrella Corp players are put into hardcore mode and have 1 life remaining. Jack's now outside the Umbrella Corp headquarters, with 1 bullet remaining in his gun. 1 opportunity. That's all he's got. But knowing Jack, he can do it. He just has to hope that maybe they let their guard down, or that they're standing AFK. Whatever he does here has to stay at a distance. And he has the Commander in sight. He's just waiting for the perfect opportunity. The cracks in the window should provide enough room for a bullet to slip through. Taking out the Commander would be devastating to them. Calmly and smoothly, Jack took his shot, taking out the Commander in 1 quick hit. and then bouncing out of there like a smooth criminal. Expecting Umbrella Corp to retaliate fast, he started making his way back to the ship, slipping right past the Umbrella Corp base. But here, when Jack was slipping under the bridge, I can see on replay mod here that a rogue player was rushing into the Umbrella Corp base, going Rambo. He managed to take a few members out, but then was sadly taken out himself. I can only assume one of the prisoners they have, he wanted them back. It was probably his friend, and he got desperate. But Jack had managed to craft himself a boat and was now nearly back at the ship. You could see him scanning, looking to see if Zipkick is here. But even looking at the footage here, I see no signs of Zipkick.
Welcome back, Jack.
Hello, Jack.
Hello?
Someone made.
Do you have good news, bad news, tragic news?
We need to get everyone here.
Now Jack has to make the difficult task of letting them know that 2 major members of this community are gone, and the third is potentially missing.
Ryan, Knight, and Zip went over to the helicopter and they went to scout it out. The Umbrella Corp found them and chased them down for a while and killed them. Now, we don't know about Zipkick. We believe he's okay, but we know Ryan and Knight died. Zip might have gone away. But guys, I need you to know the server is not ending. We're not going down. We're not leaving it here. We're not. Yeah, this is not scripted. We're not going down because Ryan's dead. We're gonna carry on and we're gonna survive. We're gonna get our helicopter. We're gonna get whatever plane we can, and we're gonna get people off this island, and we're gonna survive.
Let's do it.
We're gonna honor what Ryan wanted to do.
But before they could continue their adventure, they wanted to say farewell to their friends that had fallen.
Ray of sunshine beaming down after it.
They've shown my team mercy.
Yeah, I really want to fight for that.
The helmets off for our fallen
Knight,
soldiers.
They welcome me and Daz with open arms.
Take off our helmets because we are good, right?
Look, guys, there's not much we can say. Look, everyone's had a piece to say about these things happening. Everyone wants to fight. You don't all have to fight. I'm not encouraging you to fight. If you want to survive, you can. That's more than fine. But this is what we need to do. They are evil. That's the bottom line of it. They're not good people. They deserve to die. And look, other people might say, you know, the good thing to do is let them live and let them change. But I'm not about that. They've had so many chances. They've killed every single person without remorse. They already killed Knight and Ryan, and they wanted to kill Zipkick as well. Like, they weren't going to let him live until I got there. So yeah, too many of our friends have died. We don't know if we're going to survive this. Well, I can't promise you guys that you're all going to survive or come through with this. You may die. You may be the first person out and not know if we won. But even if we lose, we're going to make Umbrella Corp pay for what they did. Yes, in case there is a way that we do come through this and survive. Oh, if there's a chance, we're going to cross that bridge and we're going to survive. We're going to the next island and we're going to make it worth it. There is a plane.
Plane to the right.
And this plane... Is that a supply plane? It is! Alright, we need to follow that. We need to follow that.
And this just shows you how quickly life moves on and survival kicks back in. And then when day broke, they started making their way closer to the airport. They entered the airfield, expecting to see a white plane waiting for them. But when they peeked around, all they could see was a red beacon shining up into the sky. This was the supply drop, and it was letting everyone know where the supply drop is. Even though we fueled up the plane and we completed the objective, there's still other survivors on this map doing the exact same thing. So if you want the supply drop, you're gonna have to claim it. Jack was being cautious. He knew before he moves in, he's gonna have to secure the airfield. Jack and the crew looped around the back side of the airport. With the water to their backs, they thought it would be more secure. There was an air control tower that they wanted to get in. Maybe they could use it as a vantage to scope out the surrounding area. See if anyone's waiting to ambush them. When they got up there, all they could see was a horde of zombies surrounding the supply drop. The lads spent the full night just scoping out the airfield. And so far, this side of the airfield was cleared. But at this point they knew, if they're gonna go for the supply drop, there's no way they're gonna be able to clear the whole airfield. Not without splitting up anyway. So if they're gonna do this, they're gonna have to be brave. When they got closer, they could finally see the chests as the render distance revealed them. But the zombie horde was proving to be a struggle, and they all needed to be cleared before they could investigate the supply drop. But grabbing the supply drop isn't as simple as just opening the chest and taking the loot. There's a mission to it. If you complete the mission, it's simple. You win the supply drop, and it's unlocked. But right now it's locked, and you ain't getting in it. I wouldn't even test the admins in trying to take stuff. They'll ban you on the spot. Welcome to the supply drop mission. And the rules are incredibly simple. One member of your team, minimum, must stand inside this white line. There, you'll have 5 minutes to defend yourself against the oncoming horde. If you step outside of the white line, the timer will be paused until you step back in. So don't stay out for too long. When the beacon goes orange, the game begins. And when you see the beacon is green, the objective is completed. Now Jack and the lads know the goal and know the mission. They start setting up a plan on how they can beat this easily. And their objective is to keep one guy in the white line, while the others try to protect. Sounds simple and sounds like a good plan, but will they be brave enough to stand their ground?
Admins.
Yeah, there's a lot incoming, alright. Everyone take a side and just protect that one side.
Everything started off great. Everyone was taking a horde and one guy was standing in the white line. But so far, everything was manageable. But this was only the beginning.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull them all over towards me, guys. Just make sure you keep dark side alive.
5 minutes in a scenario like this will seem like an eternity. But then chaos erupted. The player in the middle was consumed by the zombie horde, and now the timer was on pause because no one was standing inside the white line. Jack now was taken in the middle, trying to make the timer go down as quick as he could. But the horde kept pushing him out. Every time they think they had it under control, things got incredibly messy. Just like that.
Make sure any new ones don't aggress on me. There's a lot new ones coming. They're not aggressed on me though.
Hordes of zombies were everywhere. At this point, no one was even on the white line. Jack, getting even more desperate, orders the team to start using precious ammo to try and break down the horde. The longer they go at this objective, the more zombies that will keep spawning. But looking at this from a bird's eye view, it looks like the plan had now just turned into chaos, and everyone was just doing their own thing. But Jack stepped up and began standing in the middle again. Someone's got to do it. After the longest 5 minutes of their life, the beacon went green, indicating that they had completed the mission. The objective went green, and now the supply drop was theirs. It was unlocked. All they had to do was take the loot inside and get out of here alive. But that could be a struggle, because as the supply drop was taking place, the Umbrella Corps players were watching. And as soon as they opened the chests, they were now under fire. So they began fortifying the supply drop, building a wall around it, giving them enough time to load everything into Jack's new backpack. Once that was done, they knew then they had to get out of here fast. They were gonna come under fire and they were gonna have to dodge and weave the bullets coming in. So Jack crawled through a hole in the wall and began killing the zombie horde just outside it. And once they were all dead and it was cleared, they dispersed, heading away from the runway. While under fire and running, they ran into another group of survivors, but Dispersion was with them.
Yeah, I keep using in-game chat. Hello? Guys. Are you guys peaceful? We need to run away. Umbrella Corp. Alright, Umbrella Corp are here.
And Dispersion had led these new survivors back to Jack, knowing he was somewhere near the runway. Little did Dispersion know that all this chaos was going on. He probably wouldn't have came if he knew.
A lot of radios. Yeah, I've got a lot. Okay, let's...
Now wasn't the time to chat, so they kept running. And then on the outskirts of the airfield, they found a house. And they went inside. Here, they could hopefully gather their thoughts and hide from the Umbrella Corp. Jack wants to make sure these new group of survivors don't bring any trouble. You don't want anyone with bad baggage. It's just going to bring your whole team down. That's why we always interview people when we find new survivors. Make sure they're not murderers or just greedy players. No one wants them. But these players, these new ones, have done some harm. One of the players who came from the other group, he goes by the name of Doran, and he had managed, and I don't know how, to raid the Umbrella Corp headquarters. And he now wears the Umbrella Corp commander helmet. He stole it from their base, and on the airfield, Umbrella Corp saw that. And now the entire house is being surrounded.
Oh no. Umbrella are here.
Oh,
hello?
Okay, crouch behind stuff. Crouch.
You come forward.
Get your guns ready. We're going to gun them down.
No. Let's try and reason with them. Let's try and reason with them for now.
So,
because
right,
we obviously took one of their
so
stuff.
do we reveal our numbers?
Why don't you guys give us the guy that has the helmet, and we can all just leave?
What are you gonna do to him?
First I was gonna speak to him.
Umbrella Corp wanted to talk to the guy with the commander helmet. He's not yet part of our settlement, and Jack's priority right now is keeping everyone under his leadership safe. Joran brought this on himself, and now must face the consequences. This situation right here isn't to do with Jack's crew for once. This is to do with other players and their group. Eventually, Joran left the building to talk to the Umbrella Corp members. You guys know what Umbrella Corp is like. This won't be a talk. Instantly, Joran was surrounded by the Umbrella Corp members on the bridge, and all Jack and the rest could do was just watch. But Doran's friend couldn't take this any longer, and he bravely went outside to defy the Umbrella Corp members to maybe trade some materials back to them so he can get his friend back.
United, come back, man!
I'm an armor collector and I wanted to collect armor. I'm sorry for it, but if you don't want the helmet, I'll take it, please. Oh, also, we've got some of this gear I think we got from them, so here you go, you might want that. Just as a show of loyalty.
Okay, stay.
Oh, that was from that guy, he handed it over to me.
Get back in the building, now.
Come back, man, you're gonna die, they're gonna kill you.
That for the helmet.
Going in.
What is he doing?
I know I'm gonna get killed here, but...
One, you have one last shot.
Why did you do that? You said you wouldn't kill any of our members.
Well, yeah, if you can go polite, but he didn't, and we have to teach.
After the death of Doran's friend, he was then put to the test. He was now on the edge of the bridge, and below him was a sewer line that had a horde of zombies. But Umbrella Corp hit him with such force, it knocked him over the horde of zombies, saving his life, allowing him to live and run away. Jack, not wanting to meet the same fate potentially as myself, he ordered the rest of the survivors inside the house to run, battle the horde in the night, and make it back to the ship. The ship is their safety. Jack had now had a lot more survivors, but to take the bridge, he's gonna need a lot more. Jack and the gang and the new players that made it are now back on the ship. Safe, and the most important thing, alive. But I'm going to take you back in time. Because there's still a lot more that needs to be done by these survivors if they want to make it across the bridge. When Jack was opening the supply drop, there was a book inside, and the book read this. It said, "Congrats on making it this far. These supplies here are to help you take the fight to the bridge. Before you go for the final objective of getting across that bridge and you feel confident you will make it and succeed, make sure to extract as many survivors as you feel comfortable to lose. Remember, you will need fighters for the bridge, but the more survivors you extract means those players get a few days head start on the next island, which might be valuable to you." It's essentially planning the future. The book then went on to say, "P.S. If it hasn't been found already, maybe try trekking the tallest skyscraper on the map. It might just help you get everyone together." And that's all the book read. So later on that day, Jack and a few of the gang left the safety of the ship, and now they were outside the stadium on the shores. They were heading towards the stadiums when they saw a crowd of zombies surrounding a house. And inside the house they could see a name.
Okay, no, let's just try and clear them out. Oh wait, there's a guy. Hello, can you open this door, man? Yeah, can you open the door?
Someone needed help. When Jack got closer and investigated, he noticed there was actually 2 players inside, and one of them didn't have a name tag. That means he's an admin, and he's dressed as a pilot. And after talking to the player that needed help, he told him that he found the pilot and has been keeping him safe for a few days now. Pilots are incredibly useful admins as they can fly tricky aircrafts that are easily crashed. Jack and the gang absorbed Val and the pilot into their group, and now they were heading back on course towards the stadium. The stadium had been abandoned for many days, and it was now already run down as players had broken their way in, and the stadium was now breached. Many holes for zombies to slip through. This will be a major repair job. But they're back here because this helicopter is incredibly valuable. It's not a transport helicopter. It's a supply helicopter. It's simple. This crate right here, you fill up with food, and you let the pilot fly it off. It'll then come back with supplies, and I mean big supplies like guns, ammo, the real things you need. It wasn't long until the group loaded a helicopter with all the bread it could carry, and now it was ready to take off. The pilot got in, and he started the engine. He'll be back in a day or so. But Big Boy Chazza and Monty, they were hiding a massive secret, and they've been keeping it quiet and to themselves. And I don't blame them. It's hard to find the trust in people. Even Jesse didn't know about this, their past leader. Monty and Big Boy Chazza had discovered a tank. Now, before you get your hopes up, it's not fully built yet, and it's missing materials. And they're somewhere on the map. Apparently, there was a book hinting towards that they're inside a back of a truck. And Monty and Big Boy Chazza have been looking for it ever since. This is something to keep in the head, as this might be very useful for the end of the map, getting across that bridge. But they left the tank and closed it back up, heading straight back into the stadium, as the helicopter was due home any day now. But in this process, Jack was looking into the city, looking for that skyscraper that the book told him about. And Jack believes he has in his sights what might be the tallest skyscraper on the map. That's what the book might be talking about. Apparently there's something up there that might be really helpful. Oh, and here it is. The helicopter's back. Just in time. And inside was a shotgun with ammo, and also sniper rifle rounds for the exact sniper that Jack has. Some would say he has plot armor. I think it's just good luck, and the fact that he has a generic sniper. And then the rest was filled with things called Red Bull, which are basically regeneration potions. The coolest thing of all, there was a chainsaw. That was given to one of the players, and hopefully we'll get to see an Umbrella Corp member be killed with it. That would be a sight to watch. But the helicopter operating, it's super loud. And now everyone was at the helicopter. And everyone had let their guard down, and some unwanted guests were now breaching the stadium, and no one knew anything about this. Jack and the gang are seconds away from potential disaster.
Yeah, let's get to cover. That's not...
These guys are really bad at aiming.
Stay in the... Get in the box. Get in the box.
Wait, they're on top! They're on top! They're on top! Everyone get in! Everyone get in! I see them!
Is it Umbrella?
Yeah.
Umbrella, go away!
If we get into that top base, there's a way to
Go
shoot
away.
everybody off the roof.
It was Umbrella Corp. They had breached the north side of the stadium.
Protect us.
Monty, get in!
Oh, Monty.
Shoot
They might
anybody
go
if
away.
they come.
Just get the tank in it.
Alright, guys. They're in there.
Where are they?
Can we cover... Let's
They're
cover
in
up our exit.
In the top tower, up there.
No, they are straight across. They are in the stadium right now on the top floor.
Jack and the crew were in a very awkward position, and they were closing in. But Jack was bravely defending.
I think they've ran away. Let's get high. Chazza.
7 of us and 1 of you.
Alright, Dazroon and Andy, I want you guys staying in here, keeping the pilots safe. Make sure to have your guns pulled at all time. Make sure all these exits are closed.
Jack knew he couldn't stay in that hole forever, and he'd have to push for ground, otherwise they'll close in and surround.
Everyone close it off. Are they running away or are they running in here? The other side?
I'm ready to rip and tear.
Are they still here or are they running away?
Go away!
Wait, I see them on the bottom floor.
But they quickly realized Umbrella was up to something.
Are you guys
and
friendly?
they now had a hostage. He wasn't part of the original group. He was a random survivor that they'd captured.
No. Let's... We're friendly. Are you friendly? Are you sure?
Friendly. And they were trying to use him as a human shield.
Okay, can you guys come out? Can you guys come out here?
Okay, I'll come out.
But this kind of stuff doesn't work with Jack. Jack's very hot and fiery.
We won't shoot. Okay. Why have you got Umbrella Corp armor on, man?
He doesn't have the same compassion that I have.
Why has he got Umbrella Corp armor on?
He's a parachuter.
I didn't trust him.
He was pretending to be a player, just wearing Umbrella Corp armor, but having no name gave him away. After that incident, more players had to be left at the stadium to make sure it stays safe. The pilot and a few players were left there. And now they had to keep on with the mission, because they knew the longer they stayed out here, the more Umbrella Corp would try and make advances, or even other hostile survivors. Jack wanted these players and himself to be on the ship as much as possible, because the longer they're out here, the more resources they use. And the more resources they use now means the less when it comes to what matters: getting across the bridge. It's time to scale this tower now and see if this is the one that the book was talking about. Jack and the crew took the long and boring stairs all the way to the top, hoping this will be the tower that they're looking for. When they got to the top, Big Boy Chazza had found the book. It was the tower. And the book read this: "Congrats, you have found the special radio. Write a message in this book and we'll get it broadcasted on our Discord server. Be warned, this is a one-time use and everyone will be able to see this on the island. Make sure to sign the book once it's done and place it in chests on top of this building. It'll take 1 Minecraft day for the message to broadcast. This is how he can get everyone to hopefully join his side. But he has 1 message and 1 shot only. Whatever he says, it needs to be the right words. And once this message goes out, it will be a call for war. And Umbrella Corp will know the war for the bridge is closer than they thought. And there's also a chance they might get more aggravated and more aggressive. But this has to be done." And talking about Umbrella Corp again, the group came under fire. Sniper shots can be heard. That sniper is deadly. It's a 1-hit kill. It's too dangerous to peek, and Jack knows that. They're on the cathedral building, straight across. Their best bet is not to take this fight. It's not worth it. Time for the lads to make a necessary but risky journey down the side of the building. Everyone had managed to make it down the building alive. They were all safe, and they were on the run, heading towards the helicopter settlement. But a few moments ago, on top of the tower, when the team had a slight bit of peace, from the tower, Jack could see the helicopter settlement. The helicopter was still there, but the interesting thing was he noticed another player on top, and it wasn't an Umbrella Corp member. Jack needed that helicopter, and he needs to make sure another group of survivors don't take it. So he needs to investigate who's up here, and can he strike a deal to keep the helicopter for his group. But climbing up the ladder, they only spotted one name. It was JCO, and he was a well-known player in our community.
We need to make sure they're okay. JCO, we're coming up, man. We're friendly. If you're friendly, we're friendly. Okay, look, we're gonna be friendly here. Okay, are you on your own?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Who are you with then?
I'm currently alone.
Okay. Is this helicopter yours? You claim this now?
Yep.
JCO was alone and he had claimed the helicopter. He said he owned it. But that claim wouldn't stand if a bad group came along. But luckily Jack and his group, they're pretty honorable. Jack just needed to convince JCO to join our group so that the helicopter can be technically his as well. But a few days ago, JCO found the helicopter engine. Found it in a random warehouse. And he's been looking for this helicopter ever since. He didn't know where it was. And now he's found it. And it's luckily that Jack and all the gang arrived, because JCO needs fuel for this thing to fly. And as you guys know, we have the fuel.
Okay. Well, look, we're not gonna say too much here because I still don't know if you're friendly. I assume you're friendly. You haven't got a lot of armor on.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah. So we've got the helicopter right now. So at the moment we're currently set up in this stadium, like the big like NFL stadium at the moment. We've had a lot of encounters with the Umbrella Corp at the moment. It's not been fun. There's been a lot of them. But we're here. We've survived. There's like 5 more of us, I think, at minimum. I don't know if there's more. There could be more. Yeah, around 5.
One slight problem. No one in this group can fly a helicopter. Not with confidence, anyway. And the player they need is the pilot. But there's a slight problem. They left the pilot in the stadium with a few other survivors. Jack and 2 others, Big Boy Chazza and Fowl, now need to head back to the stadium to retrieve the pilot and to get this helicopter operational. The mission of extracting players off the island into safety is now within arm's reach, but don't get your hopes up too much. The enemy aren't stupid. Umbrella Corp are watching.
Oh! I got killed.
You got killed? Oh my god, we need to run.
Just like that, Big Boy Chazza was picked off and was put into the ground. Then raised again to walk this world lifeless and cold. Jack and Fowl, they couldn't stop. Big Boy Chazza was already dead. They had to keep running or they would be next. Umbrella Corp aren't playing games. And they're doing their role perfectly, making the survival challenge even harder. Jack and Fowl got back to the stadium. They grabbed the pilot and 2 extra players to act as backup and to escort the pilot back to the helicopter. It's vitally important that this pilot stays alive now. Watching this footage, I didn't understand why Jack was taking the same route back where the sniper shot Big Boy Chazza. But then I understood, and I remembered. Jack had formed a good relationship with Chazza, and they became friends. I'd want to save some of his stuff as a memory, so I understand it. But when they got there, the location where he died, the stuff wasn't there, and it was a little bit more over. Someone had ciphered through the loot and taken what they wanted, and discarded the rest on the floor.
Oh wait, Chazza's loot! Yeah, someone grab it, Okay, thank gosh.
Oh wait, be careful, the sniper will be camping.
Yeah, watch out for a sniper. Everyone, run this way.
Yeah, the sniper might be camping it, guys, watch out.
Run down this alleyway, this should be safe. Make sure the pilot's safe in the back. Someone should always be behind the pilot.
But Jack, not wanting to take the exact same route as he took last time, he started taking them in between the buildings. So that if the sniper is still up there somewhere, he'll have less opportunities to take a crack at the team. After a long detour of looping around the building, Jack had gotten them all to the settlement safely.
We need to make sure that the pilot goes up third. Alright, pilot, go up, I'll follow you. Alright, make sure you clear everything, make sure they're not around here.
So we heard a sniper shot, anyone dead?
Yeah.
But the sniper that killed Chazza had been keeping the helicopter settlement under heavy fire, keeping them suppressed. The Umbrella Corp know that the helicopter is close to being fixed, and they'd be doing their best to not let this thing get off the ground. They mean business. The sniper needed to be dealt with, but they had no clue where he was.
Oh, on top of the broken building?
He was well hidden.
I think I see him. I think I see him. I see him. I see him. I see him. All right, I'm gonna snipe him. I'm gonna try and snipe him.
But then Jack spotted him really far away.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
I think he... Did I get him?
Yeah, you got him.
I got him. I got him. I got him. Okay. Okay. All right, pilot, you're safe to come up.
The sniper was now down, and it was time to quickly get the helicopter fueled and get out of here. But it wasn't going to be that simple. See, there was a few survivors left in the stadium, and it was time to evac them and get them back to the ship. It was time to get everyone back to the ship. Now that Jack had the helicopter up and running, he wanted to make sure that no one else dies today. Not a single soul. And he's going to use the helicopter, hopefully, to make this happen. Here's the plan. Everyone here is at the helicopter settlement. And he's going to keep everyone here, protecting it like a fortress. He's going to go collect the stadium players, bring them back here, and then use this base as an extraction point. Helicopter settlement to the ship. That's the plan. Let's do this. But when the helicopter was getting close to the stadium and beginning to land, Jack had an idea. One, to make sure that he stays high and doesn't bring the helicopter too low. He wanted to land it on a close-by skyscraper. And then hopefully the two stadium players could make their way over to this building slowly but surely. Jack ordered the pilot to land on this helicopter landing pad right here. It's tight and small, but hopefully the pilot will be able to land it decently. Just as long as it doesn't crash. It was a rough touchdown, but the helicopter was intact and everyone was safe. Now the stadium players had to make their way over. But here you can hear an engine of an aircraft in the distance, and no, it's not the helicopter. A plane's coming into land. A plane that none of us, and even myself, has seen before. Umbrella Corp were up to something. And at first it was just a plane landing, and it was mass confusion among the group on what they're up to. But then you could see Umbrella Corp were doing something with the prisoners that they'd gained. There's a reason why they've been trying to take prisoners. They obviously have their own game mode and their objectives on what they want to complete. They were escorting players at gunpoint onto the plane. Those players are probably going to the next map too, but wherever they're going, it's not going to be a good place. But you gotta love this show and our game modes we create. It's just so special. Once all the players were loaded into the aircraft, it swiftly began its takeoff, heading off into the night. And by this time, the two players from the stadium had safely made it to the tower, and they were here. Jack ordered them into the helicopter and to trust the pilot. He said, "You're going to be taken to the helicopter settlement just across the way here. Stay there and wait for extraction." The helicopter flew over. And what's really cool, you could see it all the way from here going back and forth. The helicopter then began making its return journey to Jack, and Jack ordered the helicopter to take Monty and himself back to the ship first. Pressure has now risen in this game mode. And as long as the helicopter stays up and running, it's a symbol of hope, and hope gives you a strong will to live. Jack and Monty had made it back to the ship safely, and now it was time to extract the others from the helicopter settlement. Immediately, Jack ordered a helicopter to take to the sky and fetch the others. Bring them home. I'm sure they were happy to see the helicopter returning to them. They can rest their legs for the final fight to come. With now everyone home safely, the adventure wasn't over yet, and a few brave souls would have to venture out again. It was time to send out the radio message. Jack began by writing it, and the message in the book said this. This is to all the survivors out there who want safety or even better, willing to fight the true enemy, the Umbrella Corps. We have supplies and a way of extracting people to safety to bring the fight to the next island, and this is how to find us. To make it to safety, find the lighthouse and head southeast into the ocean. Good luck. Jack now had to make the journey to the radio tower where the book had to be placed in a chest on top of the skyscraper. He asked for a few volunteers to join him, as you never know what you might run into. And before you know it, a few survivors stepped up and the helicopter was full, and Jack instructed the helicopter to fly around the side of the island, not straight over. Goal is not to alert any enemies of our presence and where we're going. After a short trip around the island thanks to the helicopter, it touched down right outside the stadium, as Jack felt that this was the safest place to land, and it was probably best to head in town on foot. They also had one extra objective that they had to do. Luckily, Monty had found the truck, and inside the truck had all the materials it needed to fix up the tank. And now the tank is fully operational. They're going to keep that here hidden and bring it out for when they're taking the bridge. Hopefully, it'll be an element of surprise and they won't be expecting it. Then they went back to the main objective. They were quickly at the tower, and now all they had to do was climb the long staircase all the way to the top. And when they eventually got to the top, the sun was now rising, and a new day was beginning. Maybe a symbol of hope. Who knows? Jack signed the book to make it official, and then put it inside the chest at the top. It'll take one full Minecraft day for the message to get out on Discord, and then everyone will know, including the enemies, that the war for the bridge is now coming. It's official. Let's just hope this message gets out to many people, and that an army is formed. The day had finally come, and the message was broadcasted on our Discord. The call for war was now out there. And here, courtesy of the admins, we have footage of the random survivors who have been surviving, coming out of their settlements, their safety, making the journey to get to the boat. Some survivors made it all the way with no issues other than the undead, and others, how do I put this lightly, they simply didn't make it. Umbrella Corp took this opportunity to go hunting. All the players that have been hiding and they haven't been able to find are now out and about and heading for safety, and they're hunting in packs. And some players just didn't stand a chance. Rest in peace. From the ship, Jack could see survivors at the lighthouse, and he rushed out to save them.
There's people. Zip, zip.
Oh, Zip.
Jump in, man.
I'm coming over.
We'll take you over. Alright, come back, come back.
Oh, it's another Zip.
It's another Zip. It's a second Zip.
And overnight, the settlement grew. Double the members it once had. And now, there was an army. All these players either wanted to fight, or they wanted to be extracted to safety, to fight another day on the next island. Jack gave him a speech, explaining what was going to happen, and how we're going to take the bridge. He said whoever wants to fight, cross to the other side. And whoever doesn't, and wants to be extracted to safety, via the helicopter, stay where you are. A huge amount of players wanted to fight, but these players here, they wanted to be extracted. They wanted to take their chance on the next island. As you know, they'll have a 5 days head start. But this series will only continue if the bridge fighters make it across the bridge. The players getting extracted to safety here, it could all be for nothing if this group fails. That same night, the survivors were then extracted off the island to join the others who escaped in the plane. The group said their goodbye,
Daz, I'm gonna miss you, dude.
A few people can get in the helicopter now. Obviously, not everyone will be able to. If you're getting safe, go down there still.
Not everyone here is a fighter, so give no hate to the people who took the easy option out. They're survivalists. They build habitats. These are the most important players, and they keep the fighters armed. Without them, we'd have no fighters. If Jack and the gang make it, good luck to them on the next map, because they're gonna need it. And now begins the make or break moment, the war. The tank had gotten to where it needed to be, and so was the army of players. They were heading up the only access road they could go. The battle for the bridge commences now. If they fail, the series doesn't continue. If they live, there's more of an adventure in store. And they might actually get a chance at stopping the zombie apocalypse completely, ending the apocalypse. The tank was doing bits to the zombie horde, tearing it apart, while the players stayed behind conserving ammo, keeping a lookout. With the tank, the players felt invincible. It was giving them the confidence they needed. But Umbrella Corp needed to show who was boss, and they prepare for things like this. 1,000 blocks away from the bridge, tragedy struck, and the tank was swiftly taken out by an RPG. Looking at the replay mod, I can see an Umbrella Corp here, on a building nearby. It was a clean hit. You can even see here, the pilot, who was controlling the tank, was absolutely shocked, and he's lucky to even be alive right now. Just like that, the tank was gone. And this is when the calm and structured members of the group started to fall apart. Guns were now being used to kill the zombie horde. Everyone was running around headless. It's like the tank was their confidence, and with the tank gone, they were losing it. Jack was struggling to get them all back under control. And in the chaos, the group were unaware that they were walking right into an ambush. There's a roadblock here, and Umbrella Corp are nearby in a building. But Umbrella are using sneaky guerrilla tactics. They waited for most of the group to pass by, and then they picked off the stragglers. One by one. Players are dropping like flies.
Oh, that's people shooting.
Someone
Watch
died.
out.
Someone died.
Yeah,
Wait, did someone
shoot?
Oh, we're getting shot at.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Hide in the tree.
Anyone got an angle on them? Anyone got an angle?
We're on the roof. Which direction? Which direction?
Behind us, behind us.
I'm facing a different side.
This isn't looking fantastic so far. Jack, wanting to conserve life, is using the admin as a proxy. Ordering the admin to go after the players, because if the admin dies, it's no loss of life. That player technically doesn't exist. Jack decides to keep charging up the road with the group and actually attack the Umbrella Corp headquarters. But Umbrella Corp are so prepared for this siege. They have members on all sorts of buildings, and even the one across from the headquarters. Again, they didn't see this coming, and for that, a member was instantly taken out. Now Jack and the squad were down another man, his life taken away in seconds. He now knew an enemy was on this building here. The enemy peeked again, but this time he wasn't lucky to get a kill, but got killed himself. That's one less enemy to worry about.
I killed him, I killed him, I killed him!
I saw that.
Eyes on, eyes on.
Where's the
It's
other
a zombie,
one,
it's a zombie, it's a zombie.
One northeast, one northeast, one northeast.
Jack and the gang had made it, but they had lost a lot of players, but it was expected. But hopefully all these players going to the next island to make sure those deaths weren't in vain. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. I'm sure you want to know what exactly happened to me. What happened on that tower? Did you die? And I'd like to report I'm very much alive. I was giving an ultimatum. Die now or be captured. And be under strict rules to tell no one that you're alive. So I'm heading to the next island, just not the way I wanted to. Who knows what's in store for me or for the others. But I hope one day we reunite.